Welcome to Girl Talk. We're filming today at the Great Dane. This is downtown Madison on East Doty Street. They've been here 22 years, but this is our first time here. It's been very interesting. We're going to meet with the general manager?
The assistant manager here, and we're talking food. Who doesn't love talking food?
Yeah,
I do.
some really interesting things, I think, about their menu that you're going to love to hear about. We sure have had some fun getting to know the people here. Kids have actually tested the food.
Yes.
Isn't that right, Ellen?
Yes.
I think that is so clever. I can't get over how smart that is, and that why haven't other restaurants thought to do this? Because if it's kid approved, I mean, both of you two have kids. How important is that?
It's very important. I mean, often I have one good eater and one not so good eater, and the not so good eater makes it difficult to go out to eat, and where we go, I mean, it kind of is up to him, and he is a proponent already of the kids' menu, and now, as you can see, the kids actually created their own menu and their own names, and
So
they've got their
smart.
pictures to prove it,
Yeah.
so it's a great concept. Yeah,
I
we're
think
proud
too,
of it.
you might be surprised of some of the things that are on here.
I
because
want
I wouldn't
the
necessarily
things.
think.
Yeah. It's
A
like
kid
making
would
me
like
hungry.
12 and under, I think, Ellen.
Darn it.
She
But
could pretend.
you might be surprised of some of the more healthy, well-rounded items that the kids themselves chose. So that's really neat.
Yeah.
All right.
Good
so
job, Great Dane.
We've got a fabulous show for you, but I want to talk to you guys a little bit about New Year's. It's 2017.
No,
I'm going to get
living in
the date
future.
wrong for the next like 3 months.
That's what
I've
you
been
do.
practicing.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But it's interesting how I feel like 2017, it wasn't a long time ago that this seemed like a really futuristic date.
That's what I was
Yeah.
feeling the other day when I woke up on New Year's Day. I said, "Oh my God, we're in the future." Who says
know.
2017? I can't believe I'm even still. I don't know. It's incredible. Alive, but yeah, I mean, it just
Alive
living
and
in it.
thriving and
Yeah,
feeling
living
good.
in
Here
it.
we
It's
are.
great.
There's a lot of movie references that reference 2017 as being this futuristic year, which I don't know. It's funny to see how you compare then to those movies, how they saw that the future would be.
I'm still waiting for the flying car.
Yeah.
I'm
Right?
first on the
Thinking
list
that.
for the flying car. Come on, the
I really
Jetsons.
want-
Anyone?
I want the instant transport.
Yeah, you would be good at
Just
that.
beam me over to that place.
But now they do
Janet.
have drones that deliver packages. I don't remember the movie. I want to say it was Family Guy that predicted that in 2017.
Oh, really?
That's a reality.
Oh, wow.
So hoverboards are a thing developing, and
Yep.
so
The
really
funny
it's crazy.
thing is we have the technology to do a lot of the sort of future things, but we just haven't necessarily implemented them. But
Right.
There's
here
some
we are.
there's some legal issues to some things. I think some safety issues and some things. So yeah, they're working on that.
Speaking of the future, in the near future, we're going to be talking to some guests. So we're talking Pilates today. Now, I haven't done Pilates, so I'm excited to learn. But we've got Pilates on Harrison joining us.
We do, and we're also chatting with Acquire Restoration. This is a business that helps your business if you've had fire damage, storm damage,
Oh, very good,
sewage
yes.
damage, water damage, those kinds of things. Good to have a plan in place, and these are some folks you might want to get to know in advance of some sort of thing like that.
Absolutely.
We'll be chatting with them next. We'll be back right after the break.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. We are here at the Great Dane downtown, and we're going to learn a thing or two later in the show from the folks here, so we're looking forward to that. Right now, if you're a business owner or work for a business, that's probably a lot of you, you're going to want to think ahead about what to do in an emergency, whether it's flooding, fire, or even mold. And today we're with Deb Suzanne, who is with Acquire Restoration. She's going to give us some pointers, and thank you so much for joining
You're
us.
welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for being here. We want to talk about what to do in advance, but first talk a little bit about what you do with Acquire.
I work in the marketing team, and so I go out and talk with insurance agents and plumbers. They're usually at first account when a flood happens. Also, I work with realtors, and it's important to them if they have an inspection and they need help right away so that there's no issue with the closing date. So we make that an emergency and service them right away.
Wow,
A lot
that's
of
a big
stuff.
job. Yes.
Big job. Very nice.
So, Deb, it's when something happens big, like a storm or flooding or those sorts of things, it's great to know where to go, what to do. Talk about having a plan set up.
We have free emergency plans, and I go out to commercial buildings, and we work with them. We walk through their building. We've had calls at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday or 5 o'clock on Friday night when a sewage pipe broke and it flooded the whole crawl space in a building from one end to the other. And so it's really good to have a company that you know and trust before that happens, so that everyone is calm, it's synchronized, it's organized, and it takes less time. So if it takes less time, it's less money.
Oh, that's a good point. Everyone will be interested in that
Oh,
as
yeah.
well. But yeah, when you're in the middle of a crisis, you're not always thinking straight, and you may just jump at the first option that you find when you're Googling what to do and where to go and who to help. So having that set up ahead of time makes great sense for so many reasons.
And it's always when you least expect it, right? When you're not planning for it.
When
like
are you
said.
ever expecting a sewage flood?
That's true. That's a good point. So can people call you before they even call their insurance agent?
Yes, they can.
Wow.
The insurance company actually likes it if you are already planning ahead and they know that you have a company that you trust and that you can call, because they know, again, it's going to save time and it's going to save money. They know that you care about your biggest investment, your business.
Right.
So
That's a good point.
can I just expand on that for a sec? So if this disaster happens, they call you first before the insurance company?
They can, yes.
Okay, wow, great. Get on it right away.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. And to know what you're going to do alleviates all the stress.
Absolutely. So then you work in conjunction with the insurance company
We
as
do.
well, right?
We do. So we work with adjusters, insurance adjusters. Our project managers are the first ones that go out to see the client, and they know that it's a stressful situation. So we're compassionate. We try to take the stress out of it right away. The adjusters like 2 programs that we have. It's called Dash. We take pictures when we get there, we take notes, and we do that ongoing every day. And then the adjuster has a link to that, and he can look at all the notes and what's happening every day. Wow. And then we also price according to Xactimate. As adjusters use Xactimate to price.
Okay.
Insurance companies and restoration companies came together to make a fair pricing. So they can look at all of our notes according to pricing and know that we are working with them.
Everyone's kept in the loop.
Right.
Yeah, well, and it takes some of that communication piece with the insurance company off of your plate, which of course is nice.
Yeah.
So.
I have to say I'm not really familiar with these sorts of companies. Are there a lot, and how do you stand apart from some of those other?
There are quite a few restoration companies. There's a lot of very good ones too. And we are on the Beltline now, which was a goal of the owners. We have 18 vehicles. We have 3 trucks that are always ready to go at the emergency. So they're stocked with all the right tools and equipment. Our men our technicians are certified in mold, water, fire, and sewage cleanup, of course. So
We were talking about that a little bit. It's like each guy can do any of those things. It's not
Right.
like you have a mildew guy and a water guy. That's great.
Right. We have project managers that oversee those things that are specialists in the different areas.
That's really incredible. And we were talking with Deb a little bit before we started. You can be there within, it sounds like in about an hour.
Right.
And you are available 24/7.
We
so
are.
That's incredible. This is Deb Suzanne with Acquire Restoration. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more Girl Talk here at the Great Dane. Stick with us.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. We are at the classic Great Dane location today, the original downtown location.
Downtown Madison.
We're excited to be here. It's a beautiful place, and we'll be chatting with them a little bit later on in the show. But first, I have Colette and Susan with us today, and they are with Pilates on Harrison. Thank you both for being with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
And you guys are truly Pilates experts. You guys have so much experience. It's really incredible, and I want to learn more about how the ideas in Pilates kind of translate into how you live your everyday life as well. Big question.
Yeah. Well, doing Pilates will help you sit up straighter and stand taller and
I do this in my seat right now.
breathe more fully, move with better alignment. Can also help you become a clearer thinker and just enjoy life more.
Those are all things we could use.
Well, and I've heard just having better posture makes you look fitter and thinner and makes you feel better just overall.
That's so true.
Yeah. So core is kind of a buzzword that we hear a lot lately. How does that fit in with posture and what you're talking about with Pilates?
You know, a lot of our movement starts with our core, with the center of our body. So if we can strengthen these muscles, we can really stabilize our posture more easily. And this will result in stronger alignment and help with a lot of the problems that go along with poor posture.
And we sit so much.
I know. Or on the computers or looking down at your phones, so it's very important.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned the breath as well. So how does that play into things?
Well, breath is unconscious and
Yeah.
posture is unconscious. We can't really think about how we're breathing all the time. We're trying to answer our emails, right? So in Pilates, we try to teach you to breathe in a way that supports your posture and
Okay.
teach you to sit in a way that helps you breathe better and work the core like that as well. So it becomes a habit, not something you have to think about.
The
like
new
that.
normal.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Very nice.
And how would this carry over into like a regular exercise? How is Pilates a little different? How are these techniques applicable or helpful?
Yeah, so, posture is going to be fundamental to all exercise. If you look at a good athlete, they don't run with their knees turned in and their shoulders lifted.
That's true.
They're really lined up well. And because they're lined up well, they have better movement patterns. They swim better, their shoulders are more released, their hips are more released, they can bite better. And the body awareness in general is just very beneficial.
So better function, also probably reduced injury if you're moving in a proper pattern.
Exactly.
So none of us like having injuries to have to work around or
Yeah,
wait
and
out.
Pilates,
Right.
Pilates is really good for recovering from injury as well. A lot of people use it for that reason.
Hey, that's a good point to keep
Interesting.
in mind. Yeah.
I like the idea too that, athletes, or if you participate in other sports or activities, a great addition to, it sounds like, what you're doing.
Yeah, for sure. We have a lot of athletes that come in.
It's only going to help.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like people have the assumption that you've got to be able to like lift your leg around your head or something. Do you have to be that flexible to start Pilates?
It's funny. A lot of people will, be worried about that. I'm
Yeah.
not flexible enough to do it. But Pilates was designed to be tailored to individuals. So if you come in and you are recovering from an injury, we're going to look at what's weak and try to make that stronger so you don't get injured again. If you're maybe a little older and you're worried about your this happening to you as you age, we're going to work on some of those things. We're going to work on balance. Or if you're an athlete, we're going to do more advanced work that's going to help your performance and other work. Yeah.
So expanding on Ellen's leg behind the head thing,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of confusion out there about Pilates and yoga. So if you could just touch on the difference between those two, and then maybe how do people get started?
Do you want to take that?
Well, why don't you talk a little bit about yoga and Pilates, because you've done quite a bit of yoga as well.
Yeah, I have a dance background and I've done yoga, I have that certification too. They have a lot of the same benefits, like posture and breath and those things, but Pilates is really more focused on strength. And movement. So it is a little more about how you move well, whereas yoga, a lot of times you're more still postures as you're working on. Maybe mindfulness a little more.
Interesting.
Okay.
And how can people get started?
Yeah, at Pilates on Harrison, there are a couple of options. Many of our clients start out by taking a handful of privates. So they'll meet with one of our instructors, and we will assess your physical strengths and your challenges and tailor a program that suits your needs specifically.
I love that. So
Another way that you can go about it is to take a 6 weeks introduction to the equipment series that we offer. You'll learn all the different equipment, the Pilates fundamentals, some of the Pilates exercises, and that's
Get started and learn it right from the beginning.
Absolutely. Many different options. Again, this is Colette and Susan with Pilates on Harrison. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. And we'll be back
Yeah.
with more Girl Talk right after this.
Welcome back to Girl Talk. We have been having ourselves a fabulous time downtown Madison. Today we're here at the Great Dane, and I think I speak for Ellen and Janet, and of course myself when I say it's time for our favorite topic, food, right?
I'm not going to argue with that.
Yes. Hands down.
So we're here with Dario Tesmer, and thank you so much for having us here in your place. We
Absolutely,
loved it.
welcome.
So we're going to chat a little bit about, you guys have a great menu, first of all, and a very expansive menu. Are you guys thinking about switching things up a little bit? Do you ever have any new items?
We do. We actually switch a menu up twice a year. And it's not always necessarily seasonal, but we kind of go by what people have liked in the past sometimes. And some of the newer trends and ideas that are coming up. Our executive chef, Matt, is he's on point with a lot of things that we do. So it's always exciting when a new menu rolls out. Employees are always excited to see what's going to happen. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool.
We were joking a little bit about Wednesday wing night. Talk to us about that.
It's something that we started over the summer, and it kind of coincided with music up on the square. And so, with all the foot traffic that comes through, we thought we'd try a couple of new things. I mean, our menu already offers a ton of great sauces on the wings, but it gives some of our back of the house guys a chance to kind of prove what they have, and they've come up with some really, really fun ideas. A lot of different flavors, and it's a great deal. I mean, 2 beers, 12 wings, $15. It's, I mean,
wow, that
it's-
is a great deal.
That's a pretty, it's pretty fun. It's been
So 6 wings
working
per
out.
beer, right?
Sure. Yeah,
I'm
you could do it.
doing
Yeah, there
the
you go.
math.
Doing the math.
It's settled.
Divide it out.
And now your winter menu is in full swing right now as well. What are some of the dishes that people can expect to see?
We tried a new Nashville hot chicken. We brought in a vegetarian dish, our Harvest Bowl, which has been really, really popular. We try to even it out between what we do vegetarian-wise. Also, gluten-free is also another big thing. And we're always pushing some of our different burgers.
Yeah.
And we have one out that's amazing. It's our All-American burger, which you guys will probably get to try in a little bit. But we're always looking into, burgers have always been a kind of a big thing, so
Yeah.
we try to make sure that we, between our Texarkana burger, which I think you guys will probably try, we're always trying different things in that realm of the menu.
Yeah.
But also keeping salads and things that are lighter. I mean, right now, this time of year, it's
Right.
A burger sounds better than a salad this time of year, gotta say.
it does, but it's good for everybody to be able to
Right.
mix it up on our menu.
And
the
that's
cool
what's
thing.
so great is that you guys have so many options. If you come with a group of people and you do have somebody who's maybe a vegetarian or somebody who's looking for gluten-free and maybe I want a burger, you know, that you can have a wide variety
Ellen
of
has
options.
revealed to us in previous episodes that she's a red meat fan, so we know
I am.
where you lie on
I'm
the
getting
menu.
that burger every time.
That's right. So let's talk about one of my favorites. I love artichoke dip. I will order it anywhere. And you
so
guys have
good.
an amazing artichoke dip, but is it back? What's going on?
It's back, and it's switched up just a little bit. It's actually, well, I think it's really good. And it's something that,
No
that I'm not
bias here,
supposed to. Well, I'm not. I try not to go back and look at it and tell people like, hey, this is really, this isn't necessarily the healthiest dish on the planet, but it's delicious. We switched it up. We added spinach to it. We added new vegetables to it, and it was.
That's healthy.
It was a menu item that folks were a little disappointed that we lost. So we listened to all of our emails, and when folks come in, they're kind of upset that it's not there. So we brought it back, and it will be there to stay.
Back
So,
by popular demand.
Yes.
And
I
you
love
know what?
it.
There are plenty of redeeming qualities in that artichoke dip that I want to say is healthy.
Yes,
Okay.
everything in moderation, right? Split it with a group
True.
of pals and you're
Enjoy it.
good
you
to
know,
go.
It's good stuff.
You're gonna justify that dip any way you need to.
You bet I am. You know I will.
So speaking of bringing back dishes and changing menus, it sounds great, but then there are folks that are gonna be like, but what about my favorite? Does that mean they're gone forever?
No, they're not. They're not necessarily gone forever. And a lot of times we can almost recreate the dish. I mean, we will have people who will come in and look at our huge menu and say, I kind of just want this. And our kitchen's awesome about modifying things or looking around for different materials in the kitchen to give our guests exactly what they want. So even if it's not necessarily on the menu, we have been known to figure out a way to make it for us. So.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
That's something great to know, because sometimes I feel kind of like, is it okay to swap this,
It is. It is. It's not as big a deal as
Right.
you might think it is. So
right.
we can accommodate.
Now you guys have a new kids menu as well. So what's unique about this kids menu compared to other places that have those kids menus?
Well, the staff that we used for the kids menu, we actually had kids come in and
No
sit
way.
down, and so we had a panel.
That's really
Yeah.
smart though,
that
but I've never
idea.
thought to do that, but that's
Kids-
And
smart.
so each of the kids, they could comment on exactly why they liked it. And it was interesting to see, to get their feedback. So we tried several different dishes, and we put together a kids menu that I think is really, really good. And I
Kid approved.
It is kid approved. So
Oh my gosh,
that kind of helps.
That's awesome.
And I'm just curious, what was a favorite?
Let's see. So the new pasta dish for the kids is really, really good. And also we did like a little mini pot pie.
Oh,
Because it also incorporates, all the vegetables that that the parents kind of want to sneak in that sometimes kids don't want, and two of the kids really raved about it. So we were like, okay, we'll try this
I
out.
find that fascinating that kids liked that, because as a parent, I mean, that sounds perfect. You kind of have a little bit of every food group, and you can hide the vegetables in the pie. It's pie, kids.
Yeah, that's pie.
And all the kids who have tried it, who maybe would have never thought to get it, have they've all liked it. So
Oh, what a fun thing.
Yeah.
So mom and dad approved too.
Yeah.
Stamp of approval.
trying to cover all the bases.
And Janet was telling us in a previous segment, this is actually the original location.
This is
So-
22 years and counting.
Incredible.
So yeah, it's there's a reason why we've been here.
Yeah.
A lot of people just come here only for the beer, but then once they sit down, I have just as many guests come back for the food as they do for the beer. So.
It's so nice to have that combination of a really great place to go and have a drink, and it's such a fabulous atmosphere, but you're going to come back for the food too. I love that.
Yeah, you can't always have crushed beers during the day, so you're gonna have to eat lunch, and sometimes you don't want to at night. So yes, we get a lot of people that just come back only for the food.
And especially here in the downtown place, I mean, places really come and go a lot down here. So 22 years really does speak to.
Yeah, I mean, the trends change all the time, but we've definitely been able to kind of stick to our guns and make everything, even though it might seem somewhat basic for some of the items, they're actually really, really delicious. And we also make sure that we are employing people to make a lot of the stuff. We don't get it just off a truck. So it's kind of nice that we have a lot of people.
Well, Dario, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for
We're
having
at the Great Dane downtown, literally kid tested, mother approved. So now you can actually put that stamp of approval. Thank you so much to all of our guests for joining us today. Thank you for watching. Join us next time on Girl Talk.